The opinions expressed on the radio program by the hosts, co-hosts, guests, and call-in listeners or chatters are solely the opinions and responsibility of the original source who expressed them. They do not necessarily represent the opinions of Genesis Radio, www.genesisradio.com, Genesis Radio's owners, management, or affiliates.
Welcome back. Welcome back to Genesis Radio. Happy Friday. I am your host, Amazing Amy. And yeah, this is In My Opinion. And I'm solo today. And that's how it's going to be, for the foreseeable future. But I always have something to say. So I'm back on the airwaves, just me tonight. And then also I'm probably going to move the show to Fridays as well because life is lifing and stuff is changing rapidly. So we just rolling with it. But it's me and TP tonight. TP, you gonna chime in with me?
Yeah, it's gonna be me and you. We got some stuff to talk about.
Let's chop it up. It's a lot.
Bump our gums.
It's a lot going on in the world. So welcome back to the show, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in and supporting me as always. If you've been here for a little bit, you know that it was me and my co-host, but I am solo now. It's nothing to really explain. She was here, she's not here no more. That's it. And we're moving forward. So that's really all I have to say about that. There's a whole lot of other stuff happening in the world, in the news. I have a few things I want to talk about just socially first. And then we're going to get into the big T, which is the Diddy trial, obviously. Just a little tidbit on that. But some interesting things the past few weeks that I wanted to touch on. One, that black woman statue in Times Square got y'all in a tizzy. TP, have you seen that?
Oh, yeah, I saw it.
They are upset. Some people were upset. Some people were in support. But
I don't know why.
Very interesting.
It's what it is.
They upset because it's a black woman. They're gonna be mad regardless. I feel like unless they put like the ideal standard of beauty up there, they put a regular black girl. It could have been me.
Okay.
My cousin, my sister. And that's what people were arguing. Like, that's your mama, that's your auntie. Why are you so upset about it?
I don't know what they mad about.
The ones who were upset about it were saying, they would put a black woman looking like that in Times Square. Looking like what?
Looking like what? Listen, they forgot what's underneath the mask.
Yes, because they're indoctrinated by social media.
That's
everybody
right.
got a filter. Everybody got makeup. Everybody got this, that, the third.
Give me regular any day.
I
just want regular. You know what I mean?
Like, people are so disillusioned now by what's real and what's not real. And that is the realest depiction of a person I ever seen in my life. And the fact that it wasn't a real person, but it could have been anybody we knew.
Exactly.
It was the whole point. She's supposed to represent black women. We're supposed to see ourselves in her. And it's the representation black women are so constantly fighting for that we finally got. And then it's the same black women upset about it.
Never satisfied.
I'm like, what you want?
Never, ever satisfied.
Me personally,
I
think it was great. I love it too.
I love it.
It's great. It's different. You're not seeing art pieces like that. I love the artist and the fact that he does those types of pieces. He sculpts black people and shows them just being regular.
Being who you are.
And I think the whole point of his statue was black women could do nothing at all and y'all gonna be mad. She just standing there. Standing there. Big 12-foot black lady, y'all upset.
That's right. I like it.
I love it. Yeah. I think it's a breath of fresh air.
I thought it was outstanding. Tip my hat to him. Shit.
Yep. The symbolism of her being in an area that's surrounded by all white men who colonized something and got a statue made out of them. And I love it. Yeah. So shout out to, I forget his name, the artist, but great piece of work right there. I really enjoyed that. What else is going on, CP?
Oh, I gotta tell you something. I got one, I gotta send my condolences out again to my family, my peoples, the Martin family, my man YT Shaheen, Most Supreme Raheem, Brenda, everybody. We all grew up together. And their older brother James, we called him Peace, right? Back in the days, it was 5%, and that was his name, Peace. But he had, he was a boxer, taught me how to fight. Told me one thing. He said, Pookie, your problem is you weak. You need to learn how to fight. You know what I mean? So he was a boxer, yeah, right?
Nice.
So, you know, Peace passed away, and I went down to Atlanta, you know, to the funeral and everything, right? And this here had to be the most positive, uplifting funeral I ever went to.
Wow.
You know why? Because Peace in himself, he had such a life, you know, and he went from one extreme to the next. Always a good, positive role model in my life, right? But have you ever seen anybody sing a solo at their own funeral?
Sing a solo.
Sing a solo at their own funeral.
That's preparation on another level.
You know, sing a solo at his own funeral.
Explain that.
I'm telling you, well, you know, he was, you know, in the men's choir at his church. Huge, you know, Atlanta got those big churches.
Yeah.
Right? Big church, right? So, you know, there had been a concert, you know, where he was the lead singer of 3 songs, you know. So, you know how in every funeral they got somebody singing selections and so on and so forth. Well, guess what? He sang his own selections.
That's dope.
You know what I mean? So they played the videos of him singing. You know what I mean? So
that's dope.
There he is, laid out in front of the congregation, the church, packed full of people,
to the world.
you know, and he's ministering to us in song.
That's
you know
beautiful,
what I mean?
Actually.
I ain't never seen that before.
That's
so
beautiful.
I got to salute Peace, James Martin, you know. Once again, may he rest in peace. But that right there is the dopest funeral I ever seen.
Sounds like it.
You know what I mean? You know?
Sing his own solo. That's dope.
How
I gotta put that on my list of creative things.
Oh yeah, you can't beat that with a bat.
Put me in the studio before it's my last day.
You know what I mean?
Nice. That's crazy. I love a good funeral. I went to a good funeral last month as well. In Jamaica, actually. I had to fly out real quick. My adopted grandma passed away randomly, but her funeral was also really, really uplifting. And like, I took away some gems from that. And I was like, that's what a funeral should be.
Oh, yeah. So. Look, that was the first funeral that, you know, I didn't link up with somebody. You know, funerals and weddings are like the perfect pickup places. Funerals and weddings is the perfect pickup place.
I cannot. I ain't never heard nobody pick nobody up at the funeral, but
listen,
think about it. Everybody's sad, crying.
Funerals and weddings is the ultimate pickup spot.
I can see the weddings. Love is in the air. We go to the reception. We drinking. We dancing. I can see that.
I'm telling you.
But how's the funeral any different? Because what's the repast?
Same sandwich. Same sandwich.
What's the repast? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know at my brother's repast, we all got lit. We were all lit. You know what I'm saying? So I can see that.
But you know,
but you was on your best behavior.
I was to the good. You know.
Amen.
I didn't have the pork chop cologne on. You know what I mean?
I'm dead. What's pork chop cologne?
I don't know. They love it though. I don't know what it is, but they love it. I just call it pork chop.
You are hilarious. You know what I mean? Always like tidbits.
Pork chop cologne.
Hey, mama. Hey, thanks for tuning in. My mama watching.
Yeah.
Love the support.
But we here. We back.
Yeah, we back.
Let's jump into
my own thing.
Let's jump into
Let's talk. Let's talk.
Let's get it. Did he do it?
Dun dun dun.
Diddy didn't do it.
Diddy.
My prediction is Diddy gonna be found not guilty on the sex trafficking charges. If anything associated with sex, he's not gonna be convicted on. He's not gonna be convicted on. Now, if they got him on some money laundering or some guns and the drugs and stuff like that, whatever drugs and you know, if there was any chemicals inside that baby oil other than baby oil,
right?
You know, he can go down for that stuff. But the sex charges, sex trafficking, no sir, he gonna beat that.
I can't say how it's gonna go, what's gonna happen. Unfortunately, a lot of people are predicting that he's gonna be found out guilty of a lot of things, majority of the things. But I feel like with somebody with as much money, power, and pull as Diddy, this is for something bigger. Like there's something bigger that either onset this or is in the background of this trial.
Well, you know, he when he sued those Louis Vuitton people and to own Louis Vuitton and Hennessy, that family over Ciroc.
Even after big boys, and they coming after him now.
They were some of the most wealthiest people in Europe. You know what I mean? So he sued them and he won. He sued them and won.
And now they coming for him. Or
so
I don't know if they are.
All bets was off. all bets was off. But
Mm.
Puffy wasn't no fool. He had an ace in the hole.
What's that?
He videotaped everything. He
He
got everybody
did.
on camera. If I go down,
Oh,
we all
man.
going down.
I don't like none of this.
If I go down, we all going down.
I mean, when you got Diddy money, Diddy power, I feel like for 30 years nobody was clocking this. For 30 years, he kept
Everybody knew
everybody
what it
quiet.
was. Nah, everybody knew what it was.
But it was quiet though.
Everybody knew
It was quiet. Now
It
it's
wasn't quiet.
on Front Street.
It wasn't quiet.
It was a if you know, you know.
It wasn't really quiet. Everybody knew. Come on, Wendy Williams was telling everybody about that shit 30 years ago.
That's true.
You know what I mean? It wasn't no secret. You know? Shit.
I know. I've been knew he was on some weird stuff. I don't know. I just have intuition. My intuition, my discernment was like, something ain't right over there.
Discernment on 10, huh?
On to 100. 100. I knew something was wrong. I knew it.
You was tuned all the way up.
I knew what was going on. I knew something was happening, but the details of it is insane. The details are insane. The details are deranged.
Well, baby, it was called a freak off. Come on,
just the fact that it was called that. I'm
off.
reading through the documents and I'm like, this is a real term. They gotta use this legally because this is what he was calling these things. Like
freak off, baby. Come on, come to the crib. We having a freak off.
wrong.
Come through the white party.
You know.
Come on, if a man got a bed in his backyard,
a huge a backyard size bed.
Yes. Did everybody gonna lay on? That's like what they call them Roman orgies. God damn, they was getting down for the get down, baby.
Lord help us. My mind can't comprehend. But no, it was a lot. It was too much. Like there's limits.
Listen,
you don't think so?
Listen. You know, a rich man once said the best things in life is free, right? So the man provided the freak off, and everything was free. Come on down and party.
It's never free.
Listen,
it's at the cost of something.
Listen, when Hugh Hefner was doing it, right? Everything was everything. Everybody was cool, right? When Elvis was doing it, everybody was cool with it.
That's a question to be posed. What's the difference between Diddy and Hugh Hefner?
Nothing.
I'm not supporting nothing of his. I'm not supporting nothing, by the way. I'm just asking. I'm making y'all think. I'm letting y'all think.
I'm Team Diddy right now.
You tripping.
I'm Team
Don't
Diddy.
ever say that.
I'm Team Diddy, no Diddy.
Tripping. Absolutely never.
No homo.
No.
I'm Team Diddy. I'm Team Diddy. Know why? Because guess what?
That makes people. I'm sorry.
If you're a consenting adult and you come to the freak off, you know what's getting down. You know how it's getting down. You know what I mean? You know you here for the splash. You know you here for the splash. And because all those people wanted access to him.
Right. It was a trade-off for something. It was blackmail. It
wasn't blackmail. It was just like you wanted to get on by any means necessary.
These are the means.
This is what it is.
It's Hollywood. We know some crazy stuff be happening in the background. I think for us to be being exposed to it like this is blowing a lot of people's minds. Because
a lot of people went to those puffy parties, right? But there were different levels to the puffy parties. So, you know, you could have been there and never known that in another part of the house something was going on, or you know what, at a certain time of the night something was going on, because everybody didn't have access to all parts of the house. There was security all over the place.
There's people saying, we went, but we left at 10 o'clock. We went, but we was out.
But there was security that kept you from going to certain parts of the house. Most people stayed outside. Most people was in the back, outside.
Inside was exclusive.
Yeah. You had to get past security, and you had to be
that NDA.
You had to have somebody with you, no phone,
have a witness,
all
your phone in the bucket, all of that.
Yeah, all that.
So he was running a tight ship over there.
That's
like
nothing
you said,
new.
Obviously he was covering himself because one, he knew he was doing some dirt. This was crazy.
It wasn't dirt. It was fun. They was partying like it was 1999.
I read some of that stuff.
They was taking it back to Studio 54.
When you got money like that, the levels are different. Like you said, the levels are different. So my little pea brain can't comprehend.
What I want you to do is, do a little research on Studio 54, right?
I've heard.
And Steve,
I seen when Times Square was Times Square.
And Steve Rubell, who was the quintessential New Yorker, You know,
Mm.
he was gay. You know, and he was the guy. You know, I think he created the freak off. You know what I
I'm all
mean?
for sexual liberation, but there's a line that
Get your
crosses
freak
into
on. Get your freak
there's a
on.
line
So,
that
so
crosses
listen,
over, yo.
what I can't understand is how everybody right now, including you,
Uh-huh.
you shocked and appalled, right?
A little bit.
But listen to the music y'all listen to and what y'all saying in the music.
Okay.
Same sandwich.
Nah.
Just embrace it. Just give yourself a big hug. Just
Chill out.
go ahead and hug yourself.
Chill out.
Give yourself a big hug.
No, there's limits.
Free
You could
Diddy,
be,
y'all.
You could
Free
be
Diddy.
sexually liberated, and you could be popping that, whopping that, but you not that. That is another that you crossed over.
So, if he go out and say my ex-girlfriend was a hoe, would he be wrong?
Yes.
Why would he be wrong?
Because he forced that upon her.
Nah. If she was selecting who she wanted to get
People
down
do a lot of
with,
dumb things for love, okay? Love will have you twisted.
Listen.
Love will have you twisted. She loved that man, and
listen.
she was scared of him.
Listen.
All the
listen.
Cassie should have left. Really?
Listen.
It ain't that.
The lifestyle
like
was
that.
the lifestyle, jet setting all over the world.
I don't know, man.
You know.
I think it might have been that for the first couple.
The black card. Let me tell you something. I done told us, and I said sometimes, don't ask me for my black card. You know, play your position and pay your dues, and then there will be nothing I won't do for you. Right? That's right. So guess what? When she was swiping that black card and doing whatever she wanted to do, and bang zoom to the moon, Alice, he took her to the moon.
But let's be serious. He preyed upon that girl, and perhaps in the beginning, she was willing to see what he could do for her. She was a artist on the rise, trying to come up, and like you say, by any means necessary. But I don't think it was that initially.
No, because a good friend of mine, Ron Grant, rest his soul, he was the one who introduced her to Puffy. He used to be her voice coach. And, you know, I do know one of the conversations was, like, Mr. Biggs told R. Kelly, don't you touch it. And he agreed not to touch it.
Until he didn't agree anymore.
Until he didn't.
Right.
Until she was...
I'm not saying they didn't both have... she didn't have a part in that. You know, she entered into a relationship with him.
Until he felt he could do it and get away with it.
Yeah. But that's how abusers work. They get you to where they need you to be, and then they shut the door.
She backed that thing up.
Oh my gosh. Not willingly.
She spread it like mayonnaise, baby. Just
please,
think about it, mayonnaise.
In defense of all women,
she spread it like mayonnaise. This rhetoric,
all right? That poor girl. She bit off more than she could chew. She didn't know what she was getting into.
She told the man, pee-pee in my mouth.
She didn't say that willingly.
Pee-pee in my mouth.
She was on drugs.
Excuses. Stop giving yourself excuses and give yourself a chance. She said pee-pee in my mouth. Put it on me.
We're tripping.
I'm not tripping.
Nah, man.
Everybody was appalled when
she was trying to make him happy. That was her man. They was in love from the beginning. And
when Kels did it, everybody was appalled.
That was twisted too.
When Kels did it, everybody was appalled, right?
That was twisted too.
You know she wanted to outdo Kels. You know he wanted to outdo Kels too.
I believe Diddy wanted to outdo R. Kelly, but Cassie was a victim here. All right. Okay. I'm supporting the woman. She was a victim here.
She was a victim after she said no.
Yes.
I don't want to do it no more.
Agreed.
So from that point, she became a victim.
But at first,
I'll give her that.
But you can't argue that like she knew what she was getting into. He's
9 out of 10 years she was down.
Not 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10 years. 9 out of 10 she was down. It was just that, you know, that last year, you know, she probably aged out because a lot of guys like Diddy, he probably look, Young Miami or whatever her name is.
Yep.
You know, he probably saw something younger.
And I thought that same thing when I seen them together.
Because a lot of guys, you know, don't want to know about some money. You know what I mean? And you know what? I tell you every day, there's a beautiful girl turning 18 every day. So the competition for y'all is stiff. So when you are a freak off kind of guy, right? You know, you can be 30 years old and you've aged out already.
Yeah.
You've aged out. Yeah. So you know, they're looking for the 261.5.
They only Shannon Sharp shit. That's how you get caught up in shit like that. Cause look at him now.
Look, he didn't get caught up in it. Look, she was grown.
She was barely.
Look, she
50. Shannon Sharp was what? 54.
it doesn't
59?
matter.
It
She
does.
was as long as she was a day past her 17th birthday. Technically speaking, she was
I have
legal.
such a problem with that. That's not justifiable.
Well, listen.
Grown is 25 and above. If you in your 50s, there's a 25-year-old, there's a 35-year-old.
I concur. Most men
But-
who have a conscience and some
right,
morals,
and that's what it is.
they're not going to do that,
Mhm.
right? But then there's the other half of the men who said, you know what? She day past her 17th birthday. In some states, her 16th birthday. She ready to go. Pick up on it before you drop it. Here we go, baby.
I mean, I know there's men out there like that, but
Yeah.
they all deserve to be under the jail together.
Well, they don't deserve to be in jail. They just need somebody to go upside their damn head.
But yeah, the unfolding is crazy. The details are crazy. Like,
The crazy part for me is you kept ordering the same male prostitute over and over again. That means you liked him.
he liked them.
You know what I'm saying? And you allowed him to do anything you wanted him to do to you. And then the part that got me was when Puff ran out of gas and went to sleep, you kept going with the male prostitute. You kept it going. You kept the party going. Like Jesus turned the water to wine.
You're trying to make him happy. I don't know.
The man was sleeping and she was popping tops,
Oh my God.
giving blows and not going. So how much of a victim could that really be? I'm just saying.
I disagree.
Just because he's wrong, it doesn't make her right.
I'm not saying anybody's wrong or right. I'm just seeing both sides of the coin. And
Get your freak on.
nope. There's limits to the freakiness, and he surpassed all them things.
Well, you know, I feel for her. I feel sorry for her.
I do.
I feel sorry for her husband.
I do too.
Because
I feel bad for him just because I
And-
would want to crash out. I would want to crash out in the courtroom.
why? He can't be mad at Puff.
Why not? The
Because,
man who
bruh,
abused your now wife for over 10 years, so the last
Guess
decade.
what? Can I tell you something? And you've heard me say this before.
Mm-mm.
You have to, men and women both has to check your mate's whole potential. Everybody got whole potential.
Not when you on those levels.
Everybody got whole potential. Everybody want to go be able to porn star. Nobody want to marry none. So the reality is, you know, it starts in the conversation. You got to check their whole potential. You know what I mean? Because guess what? Everybody ain't gonna be a wife.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Some of y'all
that's
just
on
gonna-
having standards. That's just
some-
on
Some of y'all just gonna be a
knowing
fun
what type
girl.
of people to pick, or
So,
vice
look,
versa.
She was with that man for 10 years and didn't become a wife. You know why? Because she was the fun girl. The fun girl ain't never gonna be the wife. You know what I mean?
I think that was a blessing. She become the wife. Look
Listen,
what happened to his real wife. She
listen,
did.
Listen.
Let's talk about that.
Well,
Let's talk about everybody. Let's talk about his rap.
He never had a wife. He never got married.
Oh, he married Kim?
No.
Okay, whatever.
Look, he stole Kim from Albie Shaw. I remember when she was the receptionist at Uptown Records. She was the receptionist.
You need to write a book, yo.
She was the receptionist. And Albie Shaw had bagged up first. So Puff was a grind ball. Not only did you take his chick, you took his son and raised him as your own.
Yeah, foul.
And you barred his own son from having a relationship with him. So Puff got some issue with him.
Yes,
You
deep
mean?
issues.
So the chickens done came home to roost. But the fool part was, Puff, you're a billionaire. When they came to you and said Cassie wanted some money, you could have gave her $300 million and it wouldn't have hurt you.
Good.
And
Yep.
guess what? She would have signed the NDA. Nobody
No,
would
even
ever
that.
know nothing. It would have been no public record, and you would not be in court today.
So why did it go this direction?
Because he thought he was going to thug her and say, I ain't giving you nothing. So they filed a lawsuit. And the lawsuit was filed, and then he settled. But it was too late because once the lawsuit was filed, it becomes public information.
So all the details.
Anybody can go get the paperwork and read it. And that's what happened. Then everybody came forward. And the rest is history.
Yeah. Now we living it, seeing it happen in real time. I am intrigued to see how this one's gonna go. Y'all want to put some bets in? Is he guilty or not guilty?
Listen. So, what about that part about he popped off on her and she wouldn't rub it on his nipples.
Bro, that's what has me mind blown. That's what has me like, what the hell? What the helly? What the heliante? Because excuse me,
homie, listen.
That's deranged there.
Listen. But you know what? What's crazy? He ain't gonna get charged on all this, but all that sex stuff that's being brought out to smear.
It is
the entire culture of black music. All your idols
cause more damage than just to him.
Yes, all your idols. That Beehive gonna be very upset because they're gonna learn some things about their person that they didn't know.
Their queen.
They're gonna say, man, but they're
gonna tell you lying, and they're gonna tell everybody we lying. They're gonna call us all liars and haters.
And they're gonna say, here's the videotape. Boom. She was at the freak off.
I would love for everyone to get exposed. I honestly would.
She was at the freak off.
Because celebrities, they're just like us. They're just regular people doing regular crazy stuff behind closed doors. So
that's what they do.
I mean, if you reap what you sow. So I'm sure Diddy thought he would take majority of the stuff to the grave, but it's always gonna be a woman to be your downfall. And I love that for both of them. I love that Cassie is taking is the one that took him down.
Will carry you.
Mm-hmm.
She'll marry you, and she will bury you.
And she will just. Ooh, I like that.
She will bury you.
Hey, a woman scorned. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, you know what? You know when you're in trouble with a woman,
the
moment she lazies up.
She who?
When she lazies up. When she stopped doing all the things she used to do.
Oh, when she lazies up.
When she lazies up.
Yeah, she checked out. Mentally gone.
When she lazies up. Oh, man, bro.
Good luck.
Run.
Run is hilarious.
Cut the deal. Cut the deal.
Yeah.
When she lazies up, bruh, she about to bury you.
I don't know when men are going to learn.
You're going to be dead and stinking.
And I hope that is the outcome for him. I hope she take him all the way down.
I hope not.
Knowing who he is, why you hope not?
I hope not because
he did some bad stuff and he deserves justice for the bad things he did.
I'm not
and the people he hurt.
Technically speaking, I'm not a fan of Puffy.
No, me either.
He's a slime ball. Mm-hmm. He's a cheat.
Mm-hmm.
He's a thief.
Mm-hmm.
He's a whole lot of things, right? He's a sexual deviant,
right?
That's
the word. That's the
term. But I wouldn't call him a rapist.
No,
you know what I mean.
I'm not gonna say no.
I wouldn't call him a rapist. I wouldn't call him a sex trafficker because guess what? The man got houses all over the country and around the world, basically.
Yeah.
So if you're hanging out with me, right, and I wake up today and say it's kind of chilly, we're gonna hop on a plane. We're going to Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We're going to the Bahamas, or we're going to France. We going to
Turks and Caicos. What up?
Well, right?
Yeah.
If you coming with me, is that trafficking? Because you're enjoying the lifestyle that I'm providing. Is that trafficking?
Your argument is he didn't mislead anybody with what he was doing. He didn't lie about what he was doing, how he was doing it, what the deal was to be a part of it, none of that.
No, sir.
So in that sense, I could give a smidgen like this much grace because he wasn't deceiving anybody to that extent. Everybody knew what he was on, and because of who he was, they wanted to be a part of it. So I'm not saying that didn't happen. I'm just saying it's still crazy as hell.
Listen, one thing I can say about beautiful women, right? Cassie's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
We agree, right?
Absolutely.
Beautiful women get fucked a lot.
Oh my God.
They do. They do. I had to say that, but it's true. You show me a beautiful woman that don't have a high body count. and I'll give you $10,000. I'll give you $10,000.
Where you going with
How
this?
You want it? In singles, 5s, 10s, 20s, 100s, PayPal, Zoom, Zelle. How you want it? I'm just trying to tell you something. Beautiful women have a lot of sexual partners. They do a lot of ish, just like Cassie. They do that. And you look at them and say, but you're beautiful. Why do you do that? You don't have to do that. You know what I mean? But I'm trying to I'm trying to tell you.
I'm trying to understand.
Been there, done that. I've seen it all. Think about it. Just think of all your girlfriends you know.
Mm-hmm.
Don't say no names.
Mm-hmm. Never.
Just think of all your girlfriends you know, especially the ones that's been tens all their life.
Mm.
She's been getting compliments since she was 9 years old, right? Her whole potential's through the roof.
Potential, though, emphasis on potential.
Her whole potential was early when she was 12.
But what
right?
what determines the potential?
What I'm saying to you is, you know her. You know her. How many dudes she done been through in 10 years? You already know. She beautiful.
It's a probability situation.
And she's still
it's
in a wife.
Probability situation.
And she, listen.
It's a 10 and it's a 6 in the room. 50 dudes walk in the room. 49 of them is going to the 10. This is probability.
The fools are going to the 10.
I'm weak.
The fools are going to the 10.
I'm weak.
You know why? Because I'll take me a Kansas 6.
And you a different breed. That's not
in
how regular men think.
You know what I mean?
Regular men are visual creatures. They looking at you and you're a piece of meat and they want.
Because guess what?
Or the closest to it.
Look.
So that's circumstantial. You can't say
the 10 is too much problems. She's too much trouble. She's too much trouble.
Because you got sense. Like you said, the fools go for the 10 or whatever the case might be. But I don't think a woman's attractiveness determines how many men she has or hasn't slept with. It determines how many men may or may not be interested in her or might want sex from her.
Listen.
But she still got the juice, literally.
Yeah, she got it. She's getting it all the time. And guess what?
No, that's why she gotta give it away.
That's why she gets to a certain point in her life and she's still beautiful and everything else, and she ain't never gonna be a wife, and she ain't never gonna have that strong bond with the man, because she ain't gonna be able to bond with the man. Because she done been with too many damn men. It's too many things that men has to compete with a beautiful woman who's been fucked a lot. Because all those different energies from all those different men,
all right, Dr. C,
is what she has to deal with.
All right, I'm not saying you're wrong.
So
but I am disagreeing with the prettier woman has a higher hope potential. It's just probability. Like,
give me that Wyoming 5.
You're tripping. A Wyoming 5 is an everywhere else 1. If she a 5 in the middle of nowhere,
give me that Wyoming 5. Because guess what? She will be my everything.
And men are hypocrites too.
She will be my everything. She'll be my queen.
And in real life, y'all want the 5, but in real life, y'all don't want the 5.
Oh, we want the 5. We want the 5. We do, because you know why? Can I tell you something? That 5 and 6 is actually a 10. They just don't know it.
You said that before.
They just don't know it.
And it has nothing to do with looks.
It has nothing to do with
looks.
No, it doesn't. They're a 10. They just don't know it.
Men who are just looking.
Visual creatures. Look.
Yeah.
And listen guess what? And those guys are recycled teenagers all their life. They are recycled teenagers all their life. The guy that always chasing behind the 10, he's gonna be a recycled teenager all his life.
Finally said something.
He ain't never gonna have a wife. He gonna have baby mamas and all kinds of stuff with a whole bunch of 10s. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, and ain't nobody gonna have a happily ever after.
So how do we fix the problem? Where's the disconnect?
I don't even know. I can't even tell you.
For the attractive women out there, your hope potential is not higher. Okay, more men might see you, might like you, might want you, but it's still up to you to give them the whatever. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to, and I suggest you don't.
The problem is they can't say no.
Yes,
they want things. They want things. You know what I'm saying? And if you got disposable income, you can have any woman you want. Anyone. They're all for sale. They're all for sale. They're all for sale. Cassie was for sale. Bought and paid for sale. And guess what?
But this goes back to that thing of like, oh, everybody is using somebody in a relationship. All relationships are transactional. All of them.
Somewhat more or less. I agree.
Even if it's just companionship, it's transactional. Both of y'all got nothing but each other. That's it.
But nothing like that good old ghetto love. See, ghetto love is special. That poor, I'm broke, I'm poor. We talked about this before. Broke, living in the projects, bunch of little kids. Nobody want nothing, but they love each other. And they make do of everything, and they have nothing but love for one another. That ghetto love.
So it's more money, more problems.
Oh, without a doubt.
More money, more problems. That's what it comes down to.
You got $2 above lunch money, you can have anything you want. But I can tell you right now, I'm crunchy right now, right? I'm raggedy right now, right? I could take my punk ass anywhere I want to go right now, right? And I'm gonna walk in the door and I'm just gonna sit there. I ain't gonna do nothing. I'm gonna have me a drink, maybe puff me a cigar. I ain't gonna do nothing. Say that. And the 10 is gonna look at everybody in the room, right? Because she's looking. She know a winner when she sees one. She know how to pick the guy that got $2 above lunch money, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she gonna look. She gonna eyeball the room and be like, I'm going over there. I'm going by the ball. And she gonna sit in eye shot of me so I can see her. And she gonna do whatever she got to do to get my attention, guaranteed. Because they know what they're looking
That's
for.
just game, though. That's just knowing what you. Yeah.
She gonna be working her game, hoping that I'm gonna spend my change. Because they know.
Cha-ching, swipe that card.
You better know it.
It's a transaction.
You better know it. You know what?
Lie.
So when
just like the whole selling coochie argument. You're not selling it, but like, you know, can I get a meal? There was a meal, and then there's, you know, like, come on. I don't know.
You're right. It's all transactions.
Unless you OnlyFans in, or you putting up ads, or that's what you do, then that's different. But when it's like, even if I'm just dating a dude and there's expectations on both sides, there's wants and needs on both sides, and then, you know, somebody might come out on top, and somebody might not. That depends how the situation go. But everybody looking for something.
But you know, everybody at some point in their life, once they hit that brick wall, when you hit the wall, right? You have to look at people for people, right? Who they are, right? You know what? Because the visual 10, after a while, your 10 gonna be dropping down. You're gonna drop to that 6, to that 5, because you're gonna age out, right?
I disagree with that too.
Everything that's hanging high,
TP,
gonna drop a little low.
When them things drop low, it's gonna be men older than that who still want her. Women never lose their juice, never lose their sauce. There's gonna be a man that wants you no matter what you look like, no matter what you. It might not be the same caliber of man that you used to.
The pool gets so full, right? The pool gets. See, men is like wine. We get better in age. We get better in time, right? We get
women
better.
Too.
No. Because remember what I told you? Men don't get their shit together till they about 40. The average man. So the women, right? Y'all ball out at 18.
That's true.
That's when y'all start balling out. The men spending money and traveling, they tricking, they spinning, they spinning and bending, right? Y'all do that young, right? Because the dude that's your age, he ain't got no money.
He not there yet.
He can't do it. But when he hit about 40,
yo, back to Shannon Sharp. He got the 19-year-old doing something strange for a piece of change, and he's 60.
Listen,
because at 19, who gonna do that for her at 19?
But look, can you imagine what that motherfucker looked like when he was 19? Come on now.
No.
You know he wouldn't get no action. He couldn't even buy none. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't even buy none.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying to you is
he's stuck as a teenager, like you said.
Right. So women, y'all, you know, y'all get up in age, right? So by the time that 40-year-old man can wine and dine y'all, right? And you think you're at 40 and he's at 40 and you're ready, and he's ready for you, he ain't ready for you. He's the guy that was taking you out when you were 21.
Where now you're trying to show somebody new because you done seen it all.
You done did all that. He's the guy the guy that took you out at 21. That's who he is now. So he's going to get he's going to be the 21-year-old. So you see how the difference in the age, how you go back. So now you at 40. Now your options is the guy that's 65. Now you the bomb diggity to pop.
I don't know. It's some young dudes that want a cougar too. So it's something for everybody. Whatever you're looking for, it's out there.
And you're gonna pay like you weigh. The cougar.
That you just flip the transaction.
She gonna pay like she weigh.
I seen that dynamic too. So
she gonna pay like she weigh. He gonna take her chips and spend it on the 21-year-old. And the car that she bought him, he gonna ride the 21-year-old and he gonna come give her the splash and get some cash.
It makes sense.
And that's that.
But I want us to all do better.
So Cassie, you aged out, baby. You aged out. Puff was like, we done did it all to you. You done took it every which way we can give it. It's nothing new under the sun. We can't do. We've degraded you in every single way we could possibly do.
And that's the problem.
You're done.
And that right there is the problem.
Get to step
He
in like
did that
Martin.
girl horrendous.
But she liked it.
No.
She listen.
She loved the person
she
and
was
she was trying to
smiling.
make that person happy.
She was smiling.
She had to,
She
so
was
she wouldn't get her
smiling.
behind beat when she got back to the
She
crib.
was
Like
smiling.
all those
Nah.
red carpets, all those
Man,
shows.
listen.
I'm not saying she wasn't getting
enjoyed,
something she wanted
enjoyed the
out of the
lifestyle.
transaction.
And listen, because guess what? You know her parents knew what time it was. Daddy didn't step up and say, "Baby girl, come on now. We got to take you home. You got talent. You don't have to do this." And he ain't the end all, the be all.
Yeah,
I'm saying,
I agree.
mommy
Nobody
and
protected
daddy,
that girl.
mommy and daddy was just a regular celebrity parent. You know, they want my daughter to make it by hook or by crook. So she made it by hook, by crook, cocks and socks.
And unfortunately,
and pee-pee.
This dynamic of young aspiring artist, old man, is nothing new. It's just the first time we've seen the details of it up close and personal. We've seen it with Aaliyah and R. Kelly. We've seen it with, I don't know, you can name a few more, but Beyonce and Jay-Z, like, come on now. We've seen it with mad people, but we didn't get the details like we getting it now, so it looks crazy.
Listen, when it all
But if
come
you've
out,
grown, you can say, yeah, okay, she went into that and she knew what she was getting into, but at a certain point, it got out of control. And now, like you said, it was a problem after she said no. So at a point, she realized it was out of control and tried to reel it in, and he didn't meet her where she was at. That's where his crimes began.
that's what he told her. You don't want to play no more? You don't want to play nice and sandbox? Okay, you could go now. Go. That's when her feelings got hurt. When he said, I'm gonna just move on. You can
Like
move
I
on.
said, celebrities, they just
When
like
she
us,
got
money or not.
replaced,
I seen all that.
She
was mad about his ex and all of that, pictures of him and other girls and whatnot. But like I said, celebrities, they just like us. Money don't make no difference. You in love with somebody, they do something to hurt your feelings, you're gonna act out. You're gonna beg and plead, whatever the case might be. So without knowing the details, we could guess how it went, but it don't make none of that right or okay. And I hope he go down. Down. But honestly speaking, I don't think he gonna go down that far. And I would hate to see the day he come out talking his shit again. No, like please, I don't want to see him ever say that shit again. I am enjoying the court sketches though. I am enjoying them. He looking rough. He looking terrible, and I love that for him. He looking a mess in the court sketches.
and listen, the jail do that to you.
Yeah.
You know. But I think that they offered him 10 years. You know, they offered him 10 years, right?
Did they?
Yeah, they gave him off for 10 years. He said no, he go to trial, right? And if there was no chemicals in the baby oil, he good. That's just part of the freak off. Consenting adults. He's a bisexual man. He likes to do freaky shit with women and men.
Ain't nothing illegal about that. Yeah.
Ain't nothing illegal about that, right? So, in the argument about the sex trafficking, listen, if we taking the party to my place in Miami and we're in New York and we jumping on my private plane to go, that's my transportation. That's my car.
Right.
That's part of my lifestyle. That's how I live. If we going to California and you want to come to California with us? Because guess what? Some of those men and women that was part of their freak offs were like they were on payroll.
So what's the difference?
So they where they went, they went.
I hear that.
It was like you know the club paid people to be the party starter.
Mm-hmm.
Go in and start dancing, get the crowd dancing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, some of those people may have been the party starters. You know what I mean? For the freak
How is that
offs.
not trafficking though?
That's not trafficking.
If
it's a job, it's a fucking job. Keep you just over broke. It's a job. You agreed. It's a job.
You got to use your morality on this one, people.
Hey, look. like me, I got a couple domiciles, right? So if I want to stay down in, I got a spot in Harlem that I rent out, right? And if I decide that I want to go stay in my spot in Harlem, and I bring the lady from here or wherever else to my spot in Harlem, guess what? That's my domicile. You know what I'm saying? Is that trafficking? Because we went from Pennsylvania to New York?
What defines trafficking?
You know what I
This
mean?
is the thing about the legal system is I feel like they're gonna pick apart the fact
It's
that
like if he was taking them there and selling it.
oh
If you taking them out of state and you selling them to other people, that's trafficking.
to deal trafficking to deal or trade in something illegal. So yeah, drug trafficking, sex trafficking. Okay, that's a definition. You got to take it from here to there and then sell it to other people. Okay. So in that case, what if they argue that he was inviting people to these parties?
Everybody got to invite.
And they was paying to get into the parties.
Nobody paid to get in a pub party.
Okay.
Nobody paid.
Okay.
You got an invite.
Got an invite, exclusive invitation.
And listen,
boy, oh boy,
everybody was jumping up and down. Yo, can I get an invite? Can I get up? Can I come to the white party? Can I come to the joint that you have out in the Hamptons? I don't care where it's at. I'll go.
People just wanted to be there.
Yeah.
Interesting. My conclusion, I don't think he's going to get as much time as anybody thinks he is. I think he's still got some pull. He might look like he's so down bad because he's in jail at the moment, but I don't know. Time will tell. Time will tell.
Free Diddy.
I ain't saying all that.
Free Diddy. Free
Absolutely
Diddy. Free
not.
Diddy.
You tripping.
Oh.
How you gonna say all that other shit? He a liar, he a thief, he's corrupt, he's
all that.
conniving, he's
Listen,
Rami, he's
but
this,
guess what?
But free him, not keep him in there.
If those are the charges, then convict him.
But those aren't the charges.
You see, I don't want the brother to go to jail for stuff he's not guilty of. Lock him up for what he did. Don't lock him up for what he didn't do. Because now you're just knocking a productive member of our community off. You know what I'm saying? If he gonna go down, let him go down for the guns that was in his houses. Let him go down for drugs that might have been in his house. Let him go down for if you can prove that he money laundered or something like that. Let him go down for that. But don't let him go down because he got a blow and go and he was a freak. And he included his woman in the freak off.
No crime in freakiness.
That's right. Don't put him behind bars for that.
That's just the most sensational part, you know. That's just the most. Oh my god!
And that's why I got a problem with the whole R. Kelly thing. That's why I got a problem with the whole R. Kelly thing.
What's your argument there? Because those were underage minors.
Listen.
And their parents were consenting, but they're underage minors. That was
you just answered the question.
Okay, but that was a moral crime as well. Like that was a crime of morality and legality.
It was moral, not criminal. It was moral.
Okay, because in certain states, consenting ages, whatever, but
it's moral, right?
Yeah, right. I think that's where a lot of people
and guess what?
Not okay with this.
When the parent is the delivery person, that's parental consent.
Y'all gotta protect y'all daughters better. No cap. Y'all gotta do better, parents. No lie. You can't want it that bad at the expense of your child. That's crazy. Because I know a lot of those situations was the moms excited about R. Kelly. Everybody probably wanted to live vicariously. Same way moms you dressing their kids up in dance moms and pageants and all of that. That ain't for the kid. There's all type of messed up psychology, but this one is definitely a crime of morality, and it's like I hate to see it, but it is entertaining, and that's what he is. So even when he's at his worst, he's entertaining us, entertaining the masses still. So I guess he's doing what he came to do.
Well, I can say this much here. I think Puff tested her whole potential, and when she said yes
to everything,
he just
said she ain't the one.
I'm gonna see how far she can go, because people come to the pad, you know what I mean, and you might like a woman, you might like her, right? And you might think she the one, right? And men, we be trying to, not be judgmental about her past, right? We don't ask too many questions, but some shit you gotta tell. You gotta let us know. Like Cassie didn't let her husband know that she was swallowing the golden showers and shit like that. You know what I mean? He like, I kiss you in your mouth. You kiss my children. You know what I mean? Like, what type of, you know what I mean? Like, what kind of dreams are you having at night?
No.
You know what I'm saying?
That's due to the situation. That was all circumstantial,
but what I'm saying is some things you have to put on the table. and let the man or the woman
I
decide
think her husband
if they
knows
can have. He didn't know
the
all
depths to which.
that. When that man
I
got
think
up
he
and walked
knows.
out the courthouse, that said it all. He said, "Kiss Maggie's ass." He said, "This raggedy ass right here.
No,
If you didn't have that 20 million,
I think he was
making
so
money,
angry because he loves her so much that he couldn't stand one more moment
Baby, let me
looking
tell
at
you
that
something.
man's
Let
the
me
back
tell
of
you
that man's
something.
head in
You already
court.
know love is a useless emotion. Love
It
gets you
ain't.
jacked. Is a
That's what made
useless.
Cassie do what she did. Love.
Is a useless emotion.
I agree with that part. Man, never did nothing for me.
You know what I mean? Useless. You know what I mean?
I can agree with
Because
you there.
if two people ain't walking together, you know what I'm saying, in their sigma phase, walking together,
True.
it's over, baby.
Yeah.
It's over, baby. Look, let me tell you something. Men, we are so crafty. Even when our women be having this the dude, you know, the placeholder guy, right? The dude that's in standby. You know what I mean? Waiting for you, she's waiting to get mad at you so she can go be with him, right?
Mm.
They think we don't know he there.
Yeah, don't be knowing.
Oh, we know.
Yeah, don't
The
be
difference
knowing.
the difference between us and y'all, we so smooth with it. You know, we
Just
be
act
like,
dumb. You don't crash out.
no, we ain't gonna do that.
Y'all don't crash out.
You know what I'm saying?
We first
Because-
time we see a name, who's Tasha?
Because guess what? The moment you lose your edge,
You lost it all.
it's over, right?
Lost
So
it
then
all.
you get to a point where you get tired of playing, and you say, you know what? I'm all in this relationship now. You know what? This just in case, dude.
But both people got to be there.
This just in
Like
case,
you
dude. Well, by the time you cancel him out, we done watched this dude lurking in the shadows for 2 years. We ain't said nothing. So now you want to be all invested in me, right? And we be like, yeah, all right. What about word is born God law over there? You know, we ain't gonna we ain't even gonna call you out on it, but we're gonna drop some ditties on you to let you know we know. And if you smart enough, you gonna pick up on it before you drop it, and you be like, do he know? Yeah, we be knowing. You know what? Because it be little simple stuff, little stupid stuff, right? You know, that
just a little misstep.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
It be the littlest of
you know
stuff too. I know.
Look, they tend to text you at the wrong.
Tighten up.
They the side dude always texts at the wrong time.
If you know better, you don't even have his thing popping up. His notification don't even come through.
You know why? You know,
he's silenced.
No, but the thing is, y'all don't do that, and he's so dumb because he's waiting for his opportunity. So he's trying to be discovered. You know what I'm saying? He trying to be discovered, right? So he gonna text at the wrong time, right? And social network, he gonna send messages at the wrong time. He gonna say little things that he shouldn't say. You know, like, because a man, when he creeping, he ain't talking to that other girl online. He ain't commenting on her post.
Nah, they don't keep no digital footprint for the most part. A couple texts.
He ain't sending no like and no hearts. He ain't doing none of that.
My generation messier than that.
Guess what?
They do be liking up all the girls' pictures. And
he probably, once he know he got you, he ain't even in your DM. Because he got direct access to you. He ain't got to do all that. You know what I'm saying? You know what? So the corner of the ball who you got on hold, you really don't even want him anyway. That's why you on hold. You know what I'm saying? So he doing everything he could possibly do to let you know he's there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
like for instance, on social network, the people you may know pop up, right? You know why they pop up as the people you may know? Because he watching your profile.
I'm dead.
He following the girl he love, right? So every now and then he clicking on your profile, on the other dude's profile. So now he done clicked on your profile or my profile so much that now he popping as people I might know. I don't know this joker. Then guess what?
Now you have to find out who is he.
Guess what? And the only people we have in common is you.
Da, da, da.
So guess what?
That's just messy though. If you're gonna do that, most people will be a little cleaner about it. At least for a little bit. I'm not condoning cheating, people. If you don't want to be with that person, leave them.
That's
right?
why we said,
don't be having no side pieces and all
why
that.
should I believe everything you say to me? You know what I'm saying?
You shouldn't.
You know, like, why should I believe?
You should
You know what I
always
mean?
be a little skeptical. Everyone should be skeptical.
You know, so I done dropped the ditty. I just educated all the ladies just now with that ditty I just dropped. Because the side dude, just know that the side dude wants you to get caught because he tired of waiting in the wings. He wants to break up.
Both be looking stupid.
he wants to make
He's on a mission.
His mission is to make the man that you engage with on a regular basis
disengage with you.
Right. He
could come save you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know, look, we know he's tricking. He's being your sponsor on the low. And you want to know why the guy that you in love with don't spend his chips on you like that? Because we know that side dude is over there. He got you.
Listen.
He got you because he got you. I don't have to do it because that's his job.
And that's how you lose your girl.
That ain't how you lose your girl.
That's how you lose your girl. Now she going with side dude because what you doing? She gonna look around one day and be like,
"Go ahead." But guess what? You know why he the side dude?
Because he ugly.
No.
Because he's short.
No, because it's something about him.
Yep.
That she don't like.
Her fancy.
Only thing she like is the privileges and the benefits of the money he spends, and he's usually and he's usually a beta type of guy that's using his money. You know what I'm saying? So we don't care.
I know it's like
a cat like me. I don't care. Go ahead. I done told you once. I told you 1,000 times, right? But you're gonna wake up one day and you're gonna say, "I'm tired of playing around. It's time for me and my baby to settle down." No, we not. We ain't settling down. You know why? Homie the clown was there for too damn long. If you did it to me and you did it to him, you do it to me too. So what the hell? I'm to the girl.
No. Every story has different characters. Each character play their role.
Okay.
Every character play their role. So you ain't him and he ain't you for a reason.
So
be happy where you at.
So Cassie aged out.
Puff, you keep saying that.
Puff got the 22-year-old.
So do you believe if he kept her around, she would still be there? If he kept her around.
If Puff would have kept Cassie around,
yep,
she'd still be there.
And I'm not gonna lie, 'cause 10 years is a long time, sis.
She'd still be there.
But I do understand that it's harder to leave situations like that the longer you're in it. So I can't say nothing because I wasn't in it, but I feel like I don't know. Yes, they were consenting adults. Yes, they got in a relationship. Yes, he baited her with certain things. Yes, she wanted certain things out of the lifestyle. She didn't bargain for all of that. And at the point, like you said, when she said, "I'm cool," it should have been okay. But I agree to an extent that perhaps when he said, "I'm cutting you," she was like, "No." And then that's when the fighting started.
Guess what? When all the privileges stopped, right? So guess what? You know, when she didn't have the black card anymore, or her black card didn't work anymore, right? When she couldn't put her cousins and her friends on a plane and fly them anywhere they want to go do, and go shopping and do all those different things she did, when all that stopped, that's an addiction. You know what I'm saying? That's an addiction.
A situation like that messes you up mentally, psychologically. So,
you know, shit. I remember I had a girl once, I called her Smoke. You know what I mean? I was addicted to her. You know, that was my code name for her. I called her Smoke. You know what I'm saying? You know, had my world spinning upside down. You know what I mean?
It'd be like that. Man,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. It'd be like that. I ain't never been addicted to nobody, but
I was so high my feet can barely touch the ground.
Ooh, that's different.
She had me paranoid.
That is hilarious.
Had me going out my mind. You know what I'm saying?
I understand. Trust me. I might have forgot because I ain't been high in a long time. But yeah.
Called the Smoke. Which was addiction. You know what I mean?
Relationships do that to you.
My lips was burnt because I smoked all the time.
Relationships do that to you, man.
That's right.
People do dumb things, or things you look back on and say, "Me now would have never did that," and that's a fact. Me now would have never did the things I did 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I would have never.
I never forget old Smoke. Right? No joke. Right? She lived on the Lower East Side. right? And the PJs, right? Now I was, just something about it. She just made my whoa. You know what I mean? Like, God damn. And she didn't even know I called the smoke.
I'm dead.
You know. And her name was Sasha. You know what I mean? Oh man. And she had this dude. He was a drug dude. From the Lower East Side. You know that scene you see when you go up in the projects and they know you ain't from the projects.
Yeah.
And
So
they trying to flex on you.
Yeah.
But I was so in love struck and couldn't think straight. I wasn't even scared.
Floating right upstairs.
I ain't even scared. I'm getting on the elevator, man. I don't even care. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My car downstairs.
See, doing dumb things.
I was a young boy. You know what I mean? But man, when they bust some shots at me one time, what was the dude's name? Shelby or Shelton or something like the dude what name was. He was mad because this dude done came up in here and picked my pocket. You know what I mean? You know how I stole this girl? I'm saying I got her.
What did you do?
I took her to see Mickey Mouse.
I'm weak.
Took her to see Mickey Mouse.
Now you tapped into her inner child.
I took her to Disney.
You crazy as hell.
Took her to Disney.
I mean, from the PJs to Disney, my man, that's a lot.
Took her to
that's
see Mickey Mouse. That's
a whole new world. Like,
listen, that dude Sheldon, Shelby, whatever his name was,
he couldn't take her nowhere. He couldn't take her to the corner store.
Oh, he was the man. He was the crack man.
Oh, so he was just lazy.
No, they be living in a box.
You're right. Okay.
They live in a box.
True that. I do know that.
They drive
leave the block for too long.
They drive their fancy cars and they drive nothing but figure eights. But eights all through the neighborhood. That's what they do. One of them. You know what I'm saying?
Think about him sometimes.
Now me,
he wasn't going nowhere, literally.
Now me,
in that nice car.
I came through.
Nice car, but you going places.
To see Mickey Mouse. You know what I'm saying? In
Florida.
You better know it.
Yo.
And let me tell you something. You know that ride that they put you on. They take the picture. Everybody on the roller coaster going down. She even took the picture home.
Okay.
She was wide open.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So guess what?
You made a core memory for her. What you expect?
That's what I see. That's
your game. Guess I should never forget.
Create memories.
But it's true though. People never forget how you make them feel.
It's all about how you make them feel. You gotta create memories. So you know what?
Let me take some notes out of this month.
So look here. So by the time we done came back and whatnot, homie mad as can be. So one time when they bust shots at me, there was a place called the Tennessee Mountain, right? It was on Wooster Street. Wooster and Prince, right on the corner of Wooster Street and Prince. There used to be a rib joint there called the Tennessee Mountain. And they used to have industry parties inside Tennessee Mountain too. You know what I mean? So I'm over there one day and me and old girl over there. And because they lived on the Lower East Side, it's virtually in their neighborhood. Right. Homie came through, jumped out the car and bust shots and bang, bang, bang. Yes, sir. At the Tennessee Mountain.
I know you ain't forget that.
No, sir.
And was you still addicted after that?
Nope.
Okay. My boy sobered up.
Nope.
Because that is an event.
Nope.
You're not stupid.
Shit.
You're not stupid.
That was my rehab right there.
I heard you.
So that didn't go work for me. That's when I discovered my 5 words. She no good for me. You no good for me?
Yeah.
Hey, you know good for me.
Hey.
You know?
That is quite the story.
I was in the smoke.
And the smoke.
Hey,
your addictions will kill you.
That's right.
That was your lesson right there. You ain't have to learn it the hard way.
You already know.
But that's crazy. We all been there. Addicted.
Like Cassie was.
She wasn't addicted. She was in love. Poor girl.
Y'all calling it love.
She was in love.
Well, at some point, like I said, love being the useless emotion. Sometimes your reality got to kick in and say, this dude right here gets paid to smash chicks. I'm paying him $6,000 every time he come through to smash me and pee on me. They DPing me. You know what I mean? I'm carpet munching and everything. I'm doing it all. And then I'm smearing another man's sperm on Puff's nipples.
This is why you got to think about two sides of an argument, for real. Because the women is...
You know what I mean?
Cassie's a victim. Shit.
Cassie was
But-
living out her fantasies.
I think her victimhood came
It's just a
later.
fantasy.
whatever it was.
Image in the
Like I said,
magazine.
it's definitely entertaining. I've been reading, I've been watching, I've been TikToking. So definitely interested to see what's going on next. But
Right.
Got a couple more weeks to entertain.
There we are. See, your first solo show. You
yeah,
back? We done gave him an hour just like that.
just like that, just like old times. That's
Just
what
like
we do.
that.
That's what we do.
So we're gonna wrap this up because it's Friday.
It's Friday. I'm about to go get me a drink. A lemon drop is calling me. I'm being derailed. If y'all want to come meet me for a drink. But yeah, it's been great. It's been a great week. It's a great Friday.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some food. I got
What?
me some double fried pork chops.
Ooh,
You know, some fried ones and some smothered ones.
ooh.
You know,
Sound like
some
a Friday
rice.
night.
Little vegetables. You know what I mean?
Sound like a vibe.
I'm about to
You
get down for the
good.
get down.
You inside for the night.
Oh, you already know. And guess what?
Curling in.
And then I'm getting up in the morning
Uh-huh.
to go be taking a road trip. I'm going to give me some crabs.
Period.
I'm going to my spot. She's got crabs.
Okay.
I'm going to give me some crabs in the
You got a
morning.
whole weekend planned out. I love that for you,
You
y'all.
already
I
know.
love that for you.
You
Be
already
safe
know.
out here. Weather's
You
shitty,
know.
but you got things planned.
I'm like that record ain't no stopping, baby.
Love that for you. Me?
And I'm on a solo mission. Boop, boop.
Okay. Okay.
You dig?
Okay, we gonna talk. I'm weak. Oh my God. Good night, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Well,
All
we
right.
gonna see y'all next week. Or
Next
whatever.
week. Next week.
We
We do
back.
it next week. All right, y'all.